The Polar Express is directed by Robert Zemeckis, and this is the 2004 film, came out 20 years ago. The story follows a young boy named Hero Boy who sees a mysterious train called the Polar Express, and he's invited aboard by its conductor, and he's joined by other children to set off to go to the North Pole and on this remarkable journey to meet Santa Claus, who's preparing for Christmas. Now, of course, you guys are wondering, yes, I am wearing a Christmas jumper. It's Deadpool, why not? The year of Deadpool, since this movie came out. You like it? Thank you, I'm glad you did. So, Polar Express, this is based on a children's book of the same name, and for the majority of it, I never really sat down and watched the Polar Express, because when it comes to the Polar Express, I never really get sat down to watch it, or never get a chance to get into it, because it came out in 2004, I was quite young. I remember seeing the advertisement for it, and I remember going, oh, Polar Express, oh, that looks really cool. And I never get a chance to sit down and see it, never get a chance to really see it as a Christmas movie. But I do wish I could have seen it on the big screen, because I just recently watched it, and I absolutely enjoyed that film. I think it's one of, if not, one of the most enjoyable, really fun, really good heart feel Christmas movie to watch during the Christmas season with your family, friends, or your loved ones. It's definitely a good feel movie. Yes, this film doesn't have high regards in terms of reviews, because the critics are quite mixed on it, and audiences seem to either like or love this movie. And I'm one of those people who actually quite liked it. It's not my absolute favourite Christmas movie, because there are some few things here and there it doesn't work in terms of tone and certain character like the hobo, which we'll get to in a moment. As far as this movie goes, in terms of motion capture effect, I think it holds up well, but it is 2004, so you kind of notice it's kind of outdated a little bit. It does look a bit iffy, it does look a bit, not the best, but for the majority of it, I think it still holds up regardless. I think it still holds up very well. I will say Robert Zemeckis does a great job doing this motion capture effect with these actors, and how he brought that stuff like he did before. Like, Christmas Carol came out 5 years later after this movie, and of course he did Beowulf, and of course other movies he directed, like Back to the Future trilogy, Forrest Gump, Castaway. So many great films. He's done a few good films and a few iffy ones here and there, but for the majority of it, he's a really good filmmaker. He has done some good stuff before, especially family movies. But I will say this now, I really like the story. I think the story is very captivating. It is pretty simple, straightforward. There's not much depth to it, but there are some few things in the story, like the hobo top of the Polar Express, which is played by Tom Hanks, which Tom Hanks plays variations of these characters. Good for him. He's done a good job playing these characters. Even though the young boy, Hero Boy, is voiced by a different actor, but Tom Hanks did the motion capture work. For the majority of it, he does a great job playing these characters, how the motion capture effect, especially plays that conductor, who is basically very cold-hearted at first when you first see him. But over time during the movie, you do see his soft spot, and he also gives some words of advice to these kids, and basically he just really shows a little heart and compassion. So he's not really a cold, stone-hard person. He's really down to earth. He does show his levity or light-hearted moments. And of course, Hero Boy, that's basically the film, the main character. He's just called Hero Boy. He's not called a certain name. He's just called Hero Boy, which I don't think he never did during the movie. But so Hero Boy is basically, you follow him, he's basically the main character. He wants to believe that if there's a Santa Claus, because he's starting to lose his belief on him. But when he gets joined into this North Pole journey on the Polar Express with these other kids who are going to see Santa, and basically he goes on this journey to find if he believe there is a Santa Claus. Basically, if he wants to believe it is there, or if he's just dreaming, thinks it's just a dream, it doesn't exist. But for the majority of it, you do feel he wants to discover if there is a believer or a certain point in time. And of course, you're joined by these other kids. We see this hero girl who doesn't get much development, but he does get involved in the story with him. And of course, this other kid, Billy. Billy is basically a kid who's going through a tough time. He doesn't have an easy life, and he's trying to have no much friends, but then he joined with Hero Boy, Hero Girl on this journey, and I really appreciated that he does that as well. And of course, on the train, there's a lot of magical moments and some fun sequences, especially two musical numbers, especially when this Billy sings the Christmas is Here type of song, and of course Hero Girl joins in with him to lift up his spirits. And of course, Hero Boy just watches and he just sees him singing, and I don't know if he's feeling like showing a little bit of happiness, but he does show he does listening in onto this magical journey they're going through. And of course, the hot chocolate song where these kids are getting their refreshments drinking hot chocolate, which Now after watching that movie, it makes me want to have a hot chocolate with marshmallows and whipped cream. Give me those, please. And of course, Hero Boy meets this other character played by Tom Hanks, is this hobo on top of the train. And basically, he's a bit of an odd, interesting character. I don't know, I think this is a little nitpick or a little criticism of the movie. I don't know if he's there for a purpose or is he there for a good reason. Maybe he could have been cut out, because I think that's kind of changed the tone of the movie, because it went from being all lighthearted magical, but it turned into a dark, creepy horror tone, which I don't know if that's a main criticism of the movie, but I think it works overall. But at the same time, I kind of have, like, he could have been removed out, but at the same time, I get why he's there. He does have his moments though, he does have some jovial moments, especially has that awkward laugh. It kind of reminds me of Woody from Toy Story, for example. But there are some good things about it. The story is, what it is. It's quite straightforward. There's a lot of high stakes in the film, especially this one scene, the Polar Express going through this tracks and gets onto this ice, which basically kind of dangerous things to go through. And basically trying to escape through the ice rink and try to go turn left, turn right, and then turn left, turn right. Oh god, it's so intense, because I was all jacked up. I was kind of go, can I survive this? Can I survive it? But again, it's just so much fun. Of course, when you do arrive to the North Pole, it's very magical. It's really uplifting. You see all these elves, and it's just, it's just really magical. I don't know, it just gives you that magical feeling inside. And of course, the kids singing the Polar Express theme song. The Polar Express. It's so catchy, so magical. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, we do get to see Santa, and then Hero Boy tries to see him, and of course he couldn't see him at all. I think he's losing belief. It's not till one of the bells that came off Santa's sleigh by these reindeers, and of course he picks it up. He says, I do believe. The moment he says it, the bell rings for him, and of course he gets a chance to be the first person, well, the only one child to meet Santa Claus, receiving the first Christmas gift. And of course, the whistle to Santa's ear, which is basically him telling him he wants to use the bell as a gift. Basically, he did go up, even though he did lose it, but at the end, he did go up right at the end. And also, Tom Hanks plays Santa Claus. Again, another useful performance for him. He never stops. He just never stops. And also, we do have this really annoying kid in this movie, played by Michael Jester, who sadly passed away back in March 2003, just a year before this film was released. I'll admit, it's quite sad to see him pass away, but his performance still was good. He plays that really annoying kid. He's asking these questions. He also tells like, oh, you missed this, you missed that. Kid, shut up. You're really annoying me now. And of course, the musical score here is basically Alan Silvestri, who did some scores, the scores, like the Avengers, for example, the Avengers movies. Well, the first one and Infinity War and Endgame, not Age of Ultron, that's Danny Elfman, even though his score has been reused in that film. But what if he comes back for Doomsday and Secret Wars? If he does, go for it. As far as the pace of the film, it's very good, slow. It keeps the pacing going. The moment the Polar Express arrive, it just kicks in, doesn't slow down. I think when the hobo comes into the story, I feel like that kind of slows down a little bit, and I kind of feel like that could have been removed. They just quickly move on to it. You could have just just carry on and move forward to the story. But despite my issues with the film, and despite my overall nitpicks here and there, I think the Polar Express still holds up very well as a Christmas movie, and still overall a holiday favourite for most people. It may not go down as my favourite, but looking at this film, I can appreciate what this film tried to do. Despite a few nitpicks here and there, some of the criticism I have of it, but I think this film delivers on a good Christmas note. You can definitely watch during the Christmas season. I'm going to give The Polar Express a B+. Guys, comment down below and tell me, what do you think of The Polar Express? Do you love it? Do you like it? Or do you think it's alright? Or do you hate it? Comment down below and tell me, what do you think? And of course, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that icon bell for more future videos like this. Until next time, guys, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.